Hello. Thanks for joining us on the Signature Show. As usual, another big fish. Someone who has graced our homes. Sometimes we love her. Sometimes we hate her. I remember a lot of older women would not even stand watching her. My pleasure to welcome to our show, Patience Ozokwor, Mama G. Patience, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to see you again. We come a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see each other once in a while.
I remember those years in FRCN, Radio Nigeria. I still remember your wonderful voice. I still remember when you were in continuity and the wonderful things you did. But even then, a lot of us didn't know there was this other side of yours. So let's start from the beginning. When I spoke to one of your colleagues, Peter Doche, he said that when people say, oh, I became an actor or an actress from my mom's womb, that he was not very comfortable with it, because this is something, yes, you come with talent, but then you have role models and all that. So at what point did your mom or your dad or your auntie see that you had this special talent in you?
I didn't even know they saw anything in me until I ventured into the industry. And my younger brother was in the US, and my elder sister was always on my neck. You stop going there. People will give you bad names. Those who are acting, they don't have good names and things like that. I insisted that I was already enjoying myself, just like I was enjoying myself on radio, and suddenly the retrenchment came, and it hit us very, very hard. It was like taking a child away from the mother's breast and things like that. But when this one came, it became a very wonderful substitute. And I started enjoying myself again. For my sister to now come and say, my eldest sister, say, you should stop. And my husband was very sick then, bedridden. I was the one running around, fending for the family, taking care of the children, and taking care of his medications and things like that. It was very much weight on me. So when she started reporting me to my younger brother now, who was in the US, and then that one said, sister, leave that girl alone. Is it today you discover that that's her talent? She just discovered her talent. That's when I heard it for the first time, that it was a talent that had always been in me. Maybe from the things I did when I was in the primary school and secondary school, he now discovered that my sister has it. And now he's abroad. He saw people who had the same talent, the way they were behaving, and then felt, oh, we have such a person in our family. So when my elder sister came with the fact that I should stop, he said, no, I don't want her to stop.
So when you look back, I mean, primary school, secondary school, let me use myself for instance. I did a lot of drama in primary and secondary school. Did you do stuff like that?
Yes. I never wanted to be in debating society and all that. I hate debate. I hate arguments. I want to be straight at all times, tell you how I feel about things, and I move on. So debating society wasn't for me. But dancing and making people laugh, was the thing for me. So I joined such groups. If the school is organizing traditional dances, like I did the Calabar dance when I was in secondary school too. I did stage dramas like Marriage of Anansewa, The Gods Are Not to Blame, small skits that they were bringing then. And we had a wonderful English teacher who would always want to present something to the school, and then she would use it for us who had interest in it. So that was where my interest was. And, joining things like Girls Guide,
Was not
anywhere to play, anywhere to
you like those too?
Yes. So that's how everybody around me knew that she is there to entertain people. And that's why these people that are planning this, when they went through my interviews and they said, counting from that time to now, they were even the people that alerted me and said, you know, you have been doing this for the past 45 years.
45 years.
I said, what?
That's a whole lot of time. 45 years.
Yeah.
But we'll get there soon.
Okay.
Broadcasting really was your first love.
Yes.
Broadcasting was your first love. Tell me, how did you get into broadcasting?
You know, I never thought about it. But one day I was a teacher, and I would always take children on things to perform one way or the other. And one day, one of my cousins, she was working with Radio Nigeria then, Florence Onya. She came to record I think it was school debates or things. Yeah. Talk show for children. And she said, sister, you are in this. I said, you know, your cousin is always your sister in Igbo land. Sister. You came to this. I said, yeah. You are here? I said, yes. Okay. You are going to do something for me. I can't even remember the aspect of it she asked me to do for her. And I did it, and she was, wow, that was good. I said, did I do? I said, very well. I said, thank you. And then the next, she came to the school and took me and said, come and anchor my children's program in Radio Nigeria. It was a big thing for me, and I took permission from the school and I went. The next time I went, it was after school hours, and she took me and we recorded. She said, everybody liked it.
It was like you were a pro.
Yeah, and I didn't know what they were liking. I just go, so at the time, there was a problem in the office, and then they took me away from continuity and then sent me to produce, and they put me on Women and Children. I started producing Women and Children on Radio Nigeria. The manager came on and said, come here, you this girl. You know, I just love you with children. You made me feel like a child too. The way you blended with the children and everybody was so, he said she loved me, I should stay there. But me, I loved the continuity.
When you were already in Radio Nigeria,
yes,
they moved you from continuity to Women and Children programs.
To sort out some things. And every aspect of the listen that I went to, people were loving me. Until the retrenchment came, and I was retrenched.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was already in the industry at that time.
Yes, you had come.
I had come into Radio Nigeria. And a lot of us felt really bad that such a talent as you are, and as you were even then, was retrenched. Can I say that you are a good example of when one door closes, another door opens?
A bigger door.
So I know you left after the retrenchment, downcast, very disappointed.
I refused to leave the office. I was always coming, sitting down there for them to look at my face, because there was nothing else I could do. I just felt the world had come to an end for me. Every day I would come. Ozokwor, you know Ozokwor?
I remember Ozokwor.
And his friends, they pushed for me, because at a time, I didn't know what happened. They brought back some of us. Jevas Chukwemeze came back. Some other people came back. And I didn't know the reason they didn't want me to come back. So I couldn't leave. I was back. And the GM then said, bring this woman back. We had already trained her because I had gone for training. Bring this woman back. She did well in the training and then all that. I remember what one of us, blessed memory, said, well, we have other people who have come in with a bigger certificate that they have created Anambra State, and so they don't have anywhere to go to in Anambra, so they want to stay back, and the only place they can work now is federal corporation. So that's why they have employed those people, and they can't take me. I cried and cried as if the world had come to an end. Eventually, I left. I stopped coming, started looking for what to do. It was really hard. My children were there. And then my husband has started having problem in his office because of non-payment of salary. They were in there for 2 years. I had to struggle for these children to keep up with their school and things like that. So I started carrying the load on my head. I wouldn't know why I don't have high BP now because
It was so much. It was so much on you.
Yes. So that's how I dabbled into acting. I didn't even know where I was going.
So what happened? Was it just like going into broadcasting?
No, it was not just like going to. Somehow I can say that, but assuredly, I went to, because I was actually having children and going to school. You know, those of us were the ones that come out from secondary school and your parents say you are a girl, go and get married. And it was war. Eventually I was subdued. I went into marriage and then started having children. So I didn't want to stop school. So I was already going to school. But it weighed down so much on me because the children were already growing. By the time I first went to Institute of Management and Technology, IMT, to do theater arts. By the time we finished orientation course, they said they were sorry to announce to us that their stage had been disqualified.
It wasn't accredited.
Yes, that they were going to stop theater arts.
Admitting students for theater arts.
They gave us options. You either do fine and applied arts or you do art education. I never wanted anything to do with education. So I went in for fine and applied arts and I majored in graphic arts. But I still wanted to do something related to, I had to go back to ESUT to read mass communication. That was the closest thing. And the children were grown. They were in the university, I was in the university. And their father was bedridden. He was sick for more than 15 years. Bedridden, not getting up, not doing anything. So, and all of them, because I had them like that, 1 year difference between each of us. I had to. I don't want to remember such things.
No, please.
Okay, no problem. I was in the class and my cousin in the class again called me and said, "Sister, we are going to break down. 4 children in the university and you are also in the university." I hadn't paid my own fees for after the first 2 years. I couldn't make up my school fees. My husband was sick. The children were in school. We were eating. We were going to the hospital. We were doing all that. And then it was only me. And unfortunately, the corporation was not paying them. They owed them for 2 years. You can imagine they were not paying them salary. Is it now pension that they will pay them? So I managed. And then one of the people in our reading group was working with Chief Debudaya.
A very well.
Chikopala. So she now told me, I forgot that you had worked with Radio Nigeria. I know you know all these things before. That she could actually connect me to Frank. I said, with Frank, that with one of her friends. Yes. Yeah. She now introduced me to Frank, who now introduced me to Chief Zebediah. So when they wanted to do an advert for Anambra State, because Anambra State, their children were just finishing elementary schools and they go into business. So they wanted to encourage them. So the thing was given to Chief Zebediah to manage. And then they gave me the role to play. And the man that played my husband in that advert, I said, "Wow, where have you been? These are the kind of people we want I said, "Which industry?" He said, "No, you come out. I said, "I don't know where to come."
Yes.
Because there was the announcement that people should come to First Hotel. They were doing audition. I said, "I didn't like going to where you have crowd. I don't like to jump the queue, and I wouldn't want to stay too long on the road." I heard people were there, so many people were there, so I didn't go. Then they persuaded me, and I went to the Buddha. So that man now brought me to do. He was commissioned to shoot a 13 episode of a community film, and they called it "Someone Cares." Because of what he saw me do in that advert, he gave me the lead character, and I was there. That's where I met David. David Hesse was there too.
David Hesse.
This man from Ezagu too. They were all there before I came, and they were happy when I came. Hey, this woman can do it. Do what I didn't know. They gave me a script, and then they said, "Wow, this is what you want." And then I shot the
13 episodes.
13 episodes. So people now who came for the production now said, "Come for audition." I didn't want to come because I was actually going to that suit and
taking care of the kids.
Yes.
And nursing your husband.
Yes. So I managed and went to shoot that. From there, people saw me and they said, "Come for audition." I went for audition. All the companies, they were coming from Lagos to shoot in Enugu. That's where my success started. They left Lagos to go, because if you had told me to go to Lagos, I wouldn't know where to go to. So they came to Enugu to shoot movies. Enugu was streaming that time with movies, and then if 5 companies came and they did the audition, I would be in all the 5 movies. So I started running from money started coming in. You know, I didn't even know how to negotiate. And the little one that was coming was a wow.
Is this possible?
Yes. In fact, that advert I did for Chico Elpala, no negotiation. He just go and do. I did it, and then the day they were paying, they said I should come for payment. I went and they gave me 5,000. I said, "What? 5,000 naira?" I looked whether I was going to share with people or something. I said, "No.
It's for you.
Madam, just make yourself available anytime we have." I went home rejoicing because it was almost Christmas and there was no hope where we were going to get something for Christmas, and it turned out to be a very big blessing. So that was where everything started.
As they say, one thing led to another.
You see, the way the other one came was almost the way this one came. So no plan that I'm going for this, I'm going for that. And then every company that came to do audition, we said, "Where is that woman Patience Ozokwor?" Vicky Madukife was there now. You know, she was the one that actually said, well, there's something they can do, that there are people who have better certificate than me. Because I had
FRCN. So. And you met again in the movie set.
Yes, and that in fact, she became a mommy to me in the movie industry. Both of us were being auditioned and they would give me anything.
Okay. You know, one aspect of your life that a lot of young people have looked up to was that period of losing your job, taking care of the kids, going back to school, nursing your sick husband. How did you do it?
I don't know.
And what was driving you?
The drive was that my children, they were all intelligent. None of them wanted to stop school. And I wouldn't want to hear that my son or my daughter couldn't go to school because of money. Wow.
That was one.
Yes.
Was there something like an inner strength?
Yes.
Was it?
I remembered my mother. She was a very strong woman. She was a well-known trader. Anybody comes from Enugu, from Go to Enugu to buy foodstuff and you have not gone to my mother's shop, then you have not gone to Enugu. People will tell you, "Buy me salt," but go to Ozamaka's shop to buy it. You know, so she had led me into, the little time I stayed with her, she led me into trading. And I never stopped. And I did, when I was in secondary school too, I was lucky, not only with this, I was lucky that we had we were doing home economics. And home economics was another aspect of my life that I enjoyed. Cooking. I will want to cook and feed everybody, but I don't know how to eat. If I eat, that time they were measuring Gary with cigarette cup. I couldn't finish half cup of cigarette cup. But
so that came handy.
Yes.
In your period of stress.
Yes. So that time I will keep awake. I'll buy the flour. I'll mix the flour with every ingredient apart from liquid. And I go to bed around 12. And then by 3 a.m. I'm awake. Mix it into dough. I will do chin-chin. I will do buns, puff-puff. Then I started doing wedding cakes. You know how I started doing wedding cakes? Because I learned all that in school, in home economics. If I have relations or friends that we are wedding, I will tell them, don't pay me.
I'll bake the cake.
Buy the ingredients.
That was a smart marketing move.
I will bake it. The remaining little flour that, if you want 4 steps, I will give you 4 big steps. The remaining ingredients, I'll keep them. That's the profit I had. Nobody paid me for all that. And then I will set up the table, make it fine. People will, wow. One thing is that anything I find myself doing, I do it to the best of my knowledge. I research, I watch others, and I learn from people a lot. I don't know it all. I don't feel I ever knew it all. I will keep watching, listen to people talk. I wasn't talking much then. I was kind of watching and listening.
Listening to others.
Mm-hmm.
So those were things you were doing to augment.
Yes.
Nobody
ever gave me like, take this 10,000 naira, go and start business. No. But if I was able to get like 2,000 naira, I will look for something I will do with it that will give me 2,500. Before you know it, I will have up to 5,000. And it encouraged me. And each time my husband needed his drugs needed to be refilled, I will find money to do it.
A lot of young women, I work with you, were such a pretty, beautiful, you're still a beautiful woman. But I'm talking about when you were much younger. You were such a beautiful young woman that even as younger people, we admired you. We didn't have the guts to say so. A lot of young women, pretty women like you, would have, either killed. Because you were passing through hard times. Yeah. Your husband was bedridden. Yeah. And you were in need. Yeah. So what calmed you down? What was...
from childhood, I grabbed the word of God. I grabbed the word of God so much so that the only thing you are telling me is, if I'm not doing all those things, then I'm in church. Oh. I was raised as an Anglican. So from Anglican church, I joined Scripture Union. So I never looked at the world. It was inculcated. I learned it from childhood that you should not sleep with a man that is not your husband and all that. So I lived with it. Even when I said at a time, let me even try and be like others, I couldn't. Because I wasn't so used to it.
Yeah.
I wasn't so used to it. Sometimes other people will tell you, you are killing yourself. Come now. Loosen up. Your husband is sick. We do this. I said, okay. They'll tell me when we are going out. When it's time to go out, something brings me back.
You just don't do it.
But I enjoyed myself in the church. As a member of the Scripture Union, I was in the choir. I was in church choir, Scripture Union choir. I was a Bible study teacher and all that. So it's really ate deep into me. So I didn't have the opportunity to be wild.
And then your husband died?
Yes. My husband died, and then a lot of people came and said they were going to marry me. But then my children were already grown. There was even a time I said I was going to get married because people were offering their hands in marriage. But, excuse me, with all these big boys, and I had 3 boys before the girls.
Were they jealous?
Yeah.
The young men were jealous?
Yeah. In fact, they called me and said, Mommy, please, we know you never had a wonderful marriage, but please, for our sake, we are grown. If you get married now, our friends will laugh at us.
They will be selfish.
There was a day we were shooting. We were shooting in Lagos. I was in the car going from one location to the other. My phone rang. It was one lady. She was what we call bloggers now. She was a blogger. She said, "Excuse me, is that Patience?" I said, "Yes." She said, "We heard that you wanted to remarry. This happened. This happened, and now you want to remarry." And your children said, "No." I said, "Yes, they don't want me to remarry." "No, they don't have the right." I said, "They do have the right. They are the family that I have. If they say they don't want it, I live with my family. That's what I know from childhood. So leave me alone."
How could you have made that sacrifice? It was a lot of sacrifice. Young woman.
I didn't see it as sacrifice. I just saw it as something I should do.
They don't want it, so why not?
Yeah. And my children were all over me because we went through the suffering together. When I'm on location, they're the ones taking their father to the hospital. All they need to do is to tell me how much for the drugs and money for taxi because the only car we had broke down and all that. So I made sure I provided that one. And once in a while, I rush home because I was always on location. Like I told you, 5 companies came. They would put me, all of them would put me in their movie. So I was running from one location to the other from there, trying to meet up with demand. That's how I was able to even put up this house. Because we didn't have a house before my husband died.
Oh.
Yeah, we were living at a GRO extension. And then when they retrenched, even with the non-payment of the still retrenched them, they retired him, we just left. I told him, let's go to the village. That's where we came to. And we didn't have a wonderful house in the village then. We started building here, 1 year, 1 block, that kind of a thing. So at the time, it just came on me. My younger brother came and said, "Sister, I know you. You can't be happy in this old house. The only thing you can do now is to..." So I said, "How will I do it? Where will the money come?" First of all, he bought me a car.
Your brother?
Yes, to console me. "I know you like good things." But I said, "Don't worry. If I can." One day my children called me and said, "Mommy, don't worry, you have tried. Whatever you can't get now, we'll give you. You have spent so much time on us, we will give you." So I was looking up to it. My mind was, let me struggle and make sure that they are comfortable because what I can't get on my own, they will give me. But all is now, they say, "We can't even give you anything you have." You have everything by yourself. What will I buy?
Add.
Yeah. I said, "What will I give you now?" I said, "Anything. Even if it's handkerchief, as long as it comes from you, I'm okay." Ha.
It's been a journey.
Oh my God. A long journey.
Okay. Let's go to Nollywood, where you have become, forgive me, an oracle. You become such a figure that when the history of Nollywood is written, there must be a special place for you, no doubt.
I give God
Let's talk about Nollywood.
Yeah.
The Nollywood you met, the Nollywood that you were part of growing, are you proud of it today?
I am excited about Nollywood. Yeah. We started from nothing. These people, they didn't even have money to produce any movie. I know how many movies I did without receiving one dime. Yeah. So it was not every movie that you were able to get money from. Then we pay you, don't worry, we'll pay you, and then later you won't see them again, you won't even see, all you see is the movies already in the market. One day I got myself prepared. I went to Uppy Wake. I said, I'm going to die with 2 people today. Pay me all the money you're owing me. I needed money for so many things. This house was skeletal. One of them, each shop I came to, they would say, "Oganode." Each shop, Oganode. So one of them, Opie, called me and said, "Come, I know I'm owing you. And you came to collect money." I said, "Yes." I said, he said, "Sit down." I sat down. I said, "You may not be able to collect any money today because everybody has heard that you have come to Uppy Waker and they have all run away." I just stayed back because I have conscience. And I want to tell you that only better I don't have it. I will beg you to quietly go back. If we don't pay you that money, what the movies you did are making in the market is enough savings for you. I cried and said, when you finish crying, just wipe your tears and go home. That's what I did. I went back home without a dime. And then, well, it was okay.
And things started happening gradually.
Gradually, people started coming. Awards started coming. The first time I heard Mrs. Ozokwor being given, I was like, what? I think I didn't even go for the award. Somebody brought to say, the award.
You won an award.
Then the award meant a lot then. It's not like now, everything is perfect. Before you even see your face on a poster, you would have killed yourself working. The first day they told me my face had appeared on a poster, I ran from the poolside of Presidential Hotel where we were staying, came to the lobby and I saw my face. I celebrated it without anything.
So you're excited about what's happening to Nollywood?
Yes, you know why? Because we started from nothing. And for me, the rate of progress is big. Then it was during the time of Jonathan that he pumped so much money into the industry. And believe you me, that man really helped film industry in Nigeria. He sent a lot of our cameramen abroad, some to Jos, that film school in Jos, yes. Some to South Africa, on different camera people, producers, everything. And then some of us also went abroad and brought like Steph Yokereke. They brought New York Academy and they trained a lot of people in production and filmmaking, different aspects. And then things started changing. And the people have started now investing in the industry and we're getting better equipment, better trained personnel and things. So you can imagine the rates at which we have grown has shocked the whole world. We were just there and they gave us the name Nollywood.
Yes.
You know, we didn't
competing with the other woods.
Yes, we didn't fight for it. We didn't even apply for it. They just said no. From rating, we have seen that you people have achieved this, and then we call you Nollywood. We celebrated it. And then we have not rested since then. People are working so hard now to get things done.
Let me ask. Mm-hmm. At the beginning.
But you check it. The kind of pictures we had then and now, is it the same thing?
Definitely not the same.
And not the same thing.
Definitely not the same.
You see? So you can agree with me that we have come a long way.
Yeah. I totally.
And we are still not resting.
I totally agree with you.
We are still not resting. It's just that the Southeast here, we are finding it difficult for people to really invest. You know, the Igbos, they don't invest in what they don't know. Especially when one or two people have been deceived by some scrupulous people and they don't believe in investing anymore, they run away. And when you want to talk about, say, don't go there, these people are bad people. There are some bad people amongst us that
mess the whole thing up.
Yeah, when you give them money to shoot a movie for you, that's when they remember that they have their rent that they have not paid.
Or that their father has not been buried properly.
Yes. Or they needed to get a wife. So they mismanage the money and they end up not bringing at least the rushes for you.
Yeah, so a lot of people are scared.
Yes, so it's affecting us now. Before you can get people who want to really... Before, marketers were not coming on location. No. They just give people money to go and shoot a movie for them. All they need is bring the master.
But when we look at it, those that did what they were supposed to do have grown in the business.
Yes, they have.
Unlike those that were involved in this kind of...
some of them repented and then they came back better.
At the beginning, so many movies we were not paid for. I mean, they didn't pay you for them. When they paid, it was pittance, it was small. Are
I'm
you?
not it
Are
today.
you?
No
You're
loyalty.
getting it. You're getting the big fees now.
Oh, I don't even. I can't even remember that there was like it was like I was paid millions. Because the resultant effect is that those movies fetched me in the heart of people.
Yeah.
They were able to see me, appreciate me, love people love me so much. You can't even stop them from loving me. And because I don't.
And some hate you too.
Some
For the wicked
yeah,
acts.
yeah. You know what? Some who hated me. When they see me one on one, they can't help but love me. They will shout. I said when I see you, I'll give you punches, but now that I'm saying, I just feel like hugging you. Can I hug you? You know, like I'm.
But are you really saying that some of those wicked things are not inborn?
I can't say for myself, but people are right. Even people who went to school with me, you that worked with me, you think I could have been able to do what I'm doing now? They said, Patience, if anybody told me you would do what you're doing in movie, I wouldn't believe it.
Because my mom sometimes will almost tear you off the TV set.
But when she sees me
Say, this woman.
when they see me physically, they fall in love with me.
How do you soak the appreciation of people? I mean, when you on the streets, you go to New York, you go to other countries, you go to African countries.
It's amazing. You know, if I go into a supermarket now and buy things, I want to pay. The cashier will say, no, don't worry. When I look back, no.
But somebody already paid.
I said, it's so much. I said, don't worry. I just thought, people love me to a fault. All those things, they know, at least people who have been with me have opened their mouth on social medias and they have said, never knew she could do it. She's not like that. And our people are so they're enlightened now.
But that was a little problem at the beginning.
It was a little problem at the beginning, but I couldn't stop what I was doing because my aim and objective was to interpret every script more than anybody else could.
Let me ask you, how did your kids, when they were younger, how did they react to some of the roles you played?
They were going to location with me.
Oh, so they knew it was make-believe?
Yes, they were going to location. There was a day we were shooting in the market here in the village. I was abusing people, fighting people in the market. When I threw one woman on the ground, we were fighting. By the time they said cut, I got up. I saw my kids and they were just like this looking at me.
Are you really the one doing this?
Oh my goodness. Naturally, I fight for people. Even in the industry, you bring food and you want to treat this because they are extras and if you don't give them, I say, no, I'm not shooting except you give them food. I fight people's battle for them. So a lot of people know me with that. And maybe they would have talked to people on the street and I've met with people. And,
I've met a lot of young producers and young actresses who have shared stories of, oh, I want to be a producer. I have a film. I don't have money. And they say the person to go to is Mama G. How are you able to do that?
When I meet these young ones, I want to invest in their life because I learned from early days that investment in human beings is greater than investment that you're seeing. My mother spoke it in my language. She said, Oyi, Maria Owa.
What does that mean?
Oyi is good things come back to life. It can be reincarnated. That if you do a good thing today,
you will gain from it much later.
So I would help them. Some of them will just give me peanuts. Mama, please, I just need you. I said, this might feel, I know, but I don't have it. Sometimes I just shoot it. I say, use it and pay others, and I'll go.
Let me talk about the values in Nollywood. Here you are, as we were talking to me, you said it's not the money. Why is it not the money? How do I reconcile that with today's young actresses and actors who hinge everything they do on Naira and Kobo?
I learned, I came into the industry and I studied the system. From what that man told me in the market, I now discover that there are other things we can do in this industry and make money. If I could shoot movies for them and they didn't pay me, and still I'm alive today, that means I can help others tomorrow and still not get paid and still make it. Because you don't know where the movie is taking you. Some movies just come out and they become bang in the market. And then the person will always come back and say, thank you. Mama, you didn't take money from me to shoot it. I said, the movie sold so much. I said, okay, what do you want to do? I want to shoot another one. Then they'll now pay me.
And pay you well.
And pay me well. And then sometimes too, there's a way you ask this question that I wanted to hammer it from the ground. Ask me this question again.
No, I was saying
that I didn't put much
money.
interest.
You didn't put money.
So I learned from there. I learned that in this industry, when the Spirit of God speaks to you, you will know. And when your mind is talking to you, you will know. I studied the industry, just like you will be on radio and you study the system on radio for you to be able to stay there. And I discovered that if you put money first in this industry, money is like butterfly. It will fly in and fly out. If you concentrate on this or that, the only thing you will have to get from what that Okwitex told you
in the market.
I paid so much attention to it and I discovered that money is not everything. The first major role I got was because somebody did not go down well with them in negotiation and then she left. They now called me. They had given me another, they now said they are swapping road. They didn't want to tell me that somebody dropped the road because of money. They said that's my early stage. They said they were dropping the role they gave me, that they want me to do this, and I quickly accepted.
And maybe you didn't even ask for
I
money.
didn't even ask why. They just paid me the same money they would have paid me the other one. And then I now summed up everything. I knew that. So if you get money first, money will fly in and fly out. Because that person came back the next day and said, okay, let me do it. They said, sorry, they have given the road to somebody else. So from what that man now told me, and this one that experience I had on set, and I said, okay, now I have discovered the trick in this industry. The trick is that if I follow money, money will come and go. But if I follow fame, fame will stay with me permanently. And that's what helped.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'll ask you a question I asked some of your contemporaries.
It's not that I won't get paid though.
Yes, you get paid, yeah.
I'll get paid. And at a time, I knew they were just sometimes they do it just to, because they know my heart is just free.
But I think you've built relationships.
Yes, yes.
And that also has worked with the fame,
yes,
to keep you in the industry.
So fame, God used that fame to bring me up in the limelight. So all that I lost, I've gained.
So a question I asked one of your contemporaries in the industry: are you poor teachers? Is it that those of you, the older ones, are not good teachers? Is it that you're not good mentors? Because the industry, it is difficult to find people who are looking at doing this thing and not just money. That's why we see a lot of actresses and actors, we find out that they had to borrow cars, borrow houses.
How did you know they borrow cars? Who told you they borrow cars?
We read some of these things in the paper.
Yeah, I don't know because I never borrowed.
But what I'm saying is, you are not good teachers if you have not impacted, if you have not imparted this psychology that has kept you going in the younger ones.
I'm sorry to say this, but some of them, they come in with the ideas that they gathered from people who are not even in the industry. Like I heard that one woman said that when she was coming, people told her, if you know you are going to the film industry, don't allow anybody to intimidate you. When you just come, say good morning, that's if you have time. Otherwise, just go and stay on your own when it's time for you to. And then we treated her that way. We are working like family. So some of them come with ideas from outside before they come in. Some of them, as soon as they register with Actors Guild of Nigeria, they have their work permits. They say they are now stars. They haven't even done anything.
And they'll have a PA.
And they carry, we learned to carry things because we learned that they don't pay these, they were not paying costumiers well, not now. They were not paying the makeup artists well, so they may buy cheap things and then they use on you and it will have effect on your body. So we started buying those things by ourselves and give them, use it. Now, these people have learned to come with their own things. They didn't know why we were buying things and bringing them. So they now come with their things with the hope that they are coming to beat down on everybody that is on set. So we were not doing it. We were coming to do things the right way so that the movie will say, our aim was for the movies to sell. Their aim is for their faces to be seen. Some of those people, you see that they don't pay them. I mean, it is even worse now. They don't pay them. They say, we are building your face in the market.
But why would
older some of them ones will even bring money and give you? They don't want to listen. Like I learned from beginning that the director is the final arbiter. Even if there's an argument, whatever the director says, you do. Even in grammar, anything, the one that you think is the right one, and the director says, I want it this way, do it for him and go.
These younger ones don't do that.
This one, I said they will tell you, no, I don't want that. They will even not allow the makeup artists to make them up. This movie, you don't need to make up. Okay, you are sleeping. You don't need to carry makeup. No. Even when I sleep in my house, I put lipstick, I put this. They don't want to listen. And I don't know the relationship they have with some of the directors and they just allow them. Let's shoot. She doesn't want, let's shoot. But I know some older directors that raised us, and they managed last lot to do I must Bodemerowa, Chika, Ono. A lot of them. They say, no. Madam, please sit down, let the makeup artist make you up.
Because the makeup artists have been briefed on what they want to achieve.
It is the work of the makeup artist to make you up, to go with the story. Costume goes with the story, location goes with the story. Props and set go with the story. So if you don't allow them to do their duties, who will give them credit? How will they get their own credit? But these young ones, they come in now. Some of them read theater arts. Some of them know. All they need to do is to look beautiful on screen. They don't know, like, I don't know, like tying of wrapper here, like an Igbo woman I started it. When they give you, I said, don't worry. You have given costume. Let me go act the film.
So these young ones need to learn.
They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn. They don't want to listen. They only listen when they run into serious trouble on set. We can't shoot and you're not getting the lines. Some of them cram. You don't like us. We don't cram. You can just write a script now and give me, I'll run the whole lines. There were directors that will not keep their pen down. You are shooting, directing another scene for you to do. So if you cram, you would have crammed yesterday, isn't it? But if you come and they write one now for you now, you can't say, I can't shoot it, give me time. Who has time that time? Because the longer they stay on location, the more money they spend. So everybody wants to shoot the damn thing and go. So the problem is not that we are not teaching them. They don't want to learn. They don't even want to ask us questions. Even when you talk, they say you are picking on them.
This is not fair. That's what I hear all the time. This is not fair.
You're killing my character.
Okay. One thing that has become embarrassing for your industry is that money comes, fame comes, and somehow the practitioners mismanage whatever. And then they get ill, they call on Nigeria, and they start a GoFundMe and all. Is it not something that embarrasses some of you in the industry?
It's embarrassing, but you have to see it from our own point of view too. Excuse me. You see, actors and actresses in this Nigeria, Africa, we are suffering.
How do you mean?
Okay, no royalty. They pay you that peanut or they don't pay you, you go. If you don't get another job in the next 2-3 months, the thing you got from the other one is finished. You have your family to run. You have to look like an actor, because if you don't look attractive, nobody will come. You know, that kind of a thing. So if we are paid royalty, as long as any of your jobs are coming out on any screen,
something has to drop.
To be dropping for you. They just pay you that little money they pay you, and you go and nothing again.
Why?
That's why you see us running from one.
Why is the industry not engaging?
We are struggling.
You need to engage those that are supposed to make sure that this happens. The National Assembly, the people in government.
Over years, I told you it was a good luck that started building on these things to bring about. It was cut short. But right now, I can, if I get my phone now and show you, you will see that we now have committees that are looking into it. In fact, this present president that is finishing his tenure has done, I mean the Actors Guild of Nigeria president, Emeka Rollers, he has done so much, and we are working on, I'm even a member of the bylaw committee. We are trying to bring out modernities whereby these things can work. Why is government not listening to us to make us start having royalties and things like that? The musicians, they have been able to sort themselves out. Our own is still difficult because the producers, most of them, you know, sponsor movies from their pockets. So he who pays the pipe and tells the tune. So government has not started looking into it, and then we discovered that they said we are not a union, but we are a guild. So we are trying to see how we can
transit into a union,
so that government will now start looking into us and investing in us. That was what that president started, which he didn't conclude before he left. So it's like we are starting afresh now to work on it. By the end of this month, we have finished our job and submit, and then we'll come on a round table and then discuss with, you know, because the industry is made up of different guilds. We have the Actors Guild, we have the Producers Guild, we have the Cinematographers, we have the Directors Guild, we have the CDGN, and so many other guilds making Nollywood. So we are working on it. Especially since that boy died in the river.
That's
those five
Pope
people,
and others.
Yeah, it was not only Junior Pope that died. There were 4 or 5 of them that died. The thing became. We have started the committee before that thing happened. So we are now intensifying our effort to see that everybody that is an actor his life is looked into. But the reason these things happen like that is that there is no royalty, nothing. You don't get anything.
So when you are past your prime,
yes,
nothing happens anymore.
Nothing happens, and even when you are still in your prime and you don't get a job frequently, before you get another job, the one they gave you has finished. So that's why we always run into trouble. And then with the kind of work we are doing, it's difficult for you to combine 2 jobs, like do some businesses to go with it. And you know, these days, if you have a business and you're not there to look into it, people will run it down. I know how many things that they have run down for me. I had 3 outlets, food outlets, like a fast food outlet. They were all run down. So you see, that's why we have not been able to shout.
But those in the industry, knowing that this is how it is, can there be a little more organized in managing their resources.
Why won't you say those people will make the content for? Why wouldn't they do something for us? But I thank God that Iroko TV today has given some of us health insurance coverage for some people. That's what they should be doing for us. You understand? So they only do things for you when they need you. When Iroko was starting, he brought some of us. We did shout out for them. They paid us and they started. But later, is it not when they bring a movie and say, Mama, we need you in this movie that they pay me? So that is the problem we have. If we have royalties, some of us will be begging for money.
Anyway, it's good you talked about what is being done, to regulate.
Sorry, I'm going to thank also all those companies that have, like Glow. Glow has been wonderful to us. MTN Glow, especially Glow. Glow will always use artists, both musicians and actors and actresses. They'll just pack all of us and give us good money to come and be ambassadors for them. They will sign us on for like 2 years. Glow has done so much for this industry. I'm telling you the truth.
You want more people to copy their example.
Yes.
Your ministry. A lot of people don't know you're a prayer warrior. So, and today you have a ministry, a gospel ministry that is thriving. Tell me about it. How did you, when we see the glamour, the razzmatazz of Nollywood, it's very difficult to reconcile it with you being a worship leader, So how did you get into this? And what is this? What is it all about?
I told you that from childhood I have been fed with a lot of words of God, and I cannot overlook them. And it's difficult for me to look aside. So I'm just like pinned to it. But in 2015, normally every first week of January, I take up like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days off. Stay indoor. I call it separation. Be with the Lord, pray for God to lead me into the new year and carry me on. And then, before I took the one in 2016, I started hearing things, give me your 21 days. I looked, there was nobody around me. Give me your 21 days. It was like a joke. And then I had the intuition to tell my son that it's like the Lord is telling me that you are going to take over for me in things pertaining to, because I'm too busy now with entertainment. Then he came up one day and said he had a dream.
Your son?
Yes, the footballer. Said you're going to. I had a dream where God showed me 2 of your pictures. See, like this one now, when I was in scripture, and the other one when I was fully made up, and I said he prepares you here. I said, what? He said, yes. I said, it's just a dream, don't worry. I did that when I was in scripture. I'm no longer a member of scripture, but the teachings are still in me. He had that dream 2 times. The 3rd time, he said, in fact, the picture that he saw in his dream was crying. What? It became serious. And then he now reminded me, now that you are going for your separation 2016, remember to ask God actually what he meant by these pictures that he was showing me on 3 occasions. And as soon as I came in to do, then when I heard that 21 days, it was like, where will I get 21 days? I'm working. I'm busy. I'm going from London to America to New York to Australia to that. I don't have 21 days. I have never done more than 7 days. So you understand? And then the next thing I heard was, make it 30.
You've not even given the 21?
Yeah. And I came and told my son, I said, I'm not here to make it 30. He didn't say, okay, you said that this one is too much. He just said, make it 30. He said, Mommy, if I were you, I'll go and do the 21 days before they make it 100. Already, they have said 30. So he said, it's not 30. So go and do something about it. I said, fine. Okay, but let me see when I can do. In fact, the whole of January went, I didn't do it.
In 2015 or
2016. So when we now came to do a program for a company, I was to oversee the shooting of the music. How will I tell Oga that I want to go and do 30 days prayer? You won't want to listen to that. You got paid and things like that. And it was with me and there's a Budai again that we do it. When my son told me, if you don't take time, they'll make it 30. They'll make it 100. And I said, okay, I'll do. I called the people that were representing the company. I said, please help me. There's a place I want to go to. I want to go and do something. Cover me up anytime Oga calls or comes. Tell them that I just stepped out. I said, Mama, my hand not there. My hand not there. That was what I heard. And I just noted that and left. Because the weight was so much on me. I went in for it. What I saw was an encounter. I was visited by the Lord himself. He showed me a lot of things, told me to go back to where you came from. I was the one that put you in the industry because I want to use you. I was the one that made you famous. I want to use you to pull crowd to listen to me. Now go and bring my church back. I looked at myself. Where will I start? You go and bring the church back. From where? I couldn't understand it. But since 2016, I've been telling this story, and it's still new in the ears of a lot of people. People want to hear it and over and over again. I go to churches now to preach. I travel abroad. There was a time I went to America, London. Anytime I come to London, churches will give me space. Come and talk to the people. And it's just salvation message. I don't know how to raise money. I don't know how to do any other thing apart from salvation message. And once I finish, I don't know what else to say. I come down from the pulpit.
So did you build a church?
Because of the problem we had about house, when I finished this place, God gave me money in the industry and I finished this house. I said, now I'm going to build a chapel. This is a chapel. When I built it, my brother said, no, don't make it. I said, no, there's something God is telling me. He said, put decades and put rooms on top because some ministers will come and they will stay there. That's what is happening here. God started showing me things. I started seeing things. And then anyone he showed me, I will go into it. So by the time I finished that encounter and came out, everything changed. My son now, all the things that God told me about my son, the footballer, nobody was thinking that he will become a pastor.
He's a pastor now?
Now, yeah, he's upstairs now. He's here now. He came back from you know him, he's popular. He played with under 27 or something. Eh? I can't remember. He played with them. They went to Canada. He played with Nice of France. Mm. He played with so many clubs in Turkey, Switzerland, before finally he came back to Turkey and came home and said, I'm done. God says, go home and do my work. So he's the one that is handling I'm just a mother to the church, but he's the one handling the ministry. Yeah, it's a ministry we started with the youth. That's where God put us. We go to universities and we catch them young, secondary schools, groom them. When they go into the university, we call it the Gideonites. We have the Gideonite squad. So we deal with students, secondary, university, and all that. And then we don't have outsiders yet coming in because God did not show us that. Mm-hmm.
So you're just within what the voice you heard?
Yes. So, and it has become big. If you look out there, somebody just donated a bus to us for ministry. And then we're based in UNN, UNEC, then A-Suits, and that one is just coming up. Mm-hmm. We just talk to them, help them. Some of them We do a lot of things.
Do you have any regrets that this is happening? And how are you able to combine this with your 9 to 5 job of acting?
You know, that time after the encounter, I hated to make up. And then the voice came again. He who pays the piper determines the tune. And then it came again, said, men are moved by what they see and not what they hear. And he broke it down. When a man tells a woman, I love you, the woman will be excited and run around and say, people, he loves me. In fact, he's my husband. And then when the man goes ahead to marry somebody, they'll say they disappoint. They say, no, I'm not going to deal with the man. He didn't disappoint. He didn't tell her I want to marry. He said, I love you. I love you means the love of God and other. Wow. And people were going about saying that man disappointed me after 13 years. Because God is not in the business of relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, sleeping together with. God is not in that business at all. So there were people that God told me, this person's, before we started the ministry, this person's husband, this person's wife. And when I tell them, someone will say, thank you. I didn't even tell you I'm looking for a wife. I don't know. Even my own adopted daughter, I said, this is this person's. I said, that it's not for me to tell who will marry my daughter. Tell somebody else. He refused until I opened my mouth and said it. And eventually the boy came back and said, he went for our church. My church is, because I left Anglican, I joined the Dominion City. So Chukwuemeka is my papa. And then Chukwuemeka came in, went back. I said, you're looking for a wife. That's your wife. The same person I told you. That was when he ran and bought a ring from that program and came back and said, and they're living together now. You know? So God has never showed me anything and it didn't come out to be true.
I know that if we continue this conversation, it will never end because it's so exciting. There's so much to learn from you, and I hope our viewers and the young people will learn so much. But I want to ask you.
You know, they said the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
And that's what you believe in?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was also going to ask you, in all this, in all the trials, in all the struggles, in all the successes, what has been that guiding maxim, that guiding principle that has kept you?
It's the word of God. I'm so scared of it. I don't want to stray in any of them. If he says do this, I do. If I read the Bible and I see in the Bible that you don't need to do this as a child of God, I will run away from it. No matter how much it's going to fetch me.
God's will. That's what has been driving you. And when you look back.
You know, they said the word of God is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and they are safe. I ran into the word of God and that's why I'm safe.
When you look back, I mean, the kids, the success, someday, when we don't see you here again, what will you want to be remembered? What legacy do you want to leave behind?
I want to leave behind the fact that my children will never derail from the worship of the true God. I want them to continue in this our race so that if by God's grace I make heaven, I'll see them one-on-one when I get there.
When you say my children, are you just talking about your biological children?
Adopted children, and spiritual children. I want to see everybody in heaven.
You don't want them to build a big tower where they say this is Patience Ozokwor. That's what.
I don't care.
That's not the kind of thing you're looking for.
I don't care about all that. And I want to leave behind a system whereby widows will be taken care of, orphans will be taken care of. Widows and orphans, and then displaced people, like people who don't have a home because of terrorism or things like that. I want to have a place in this world where those people can come in and they'll have rest and food to eat.
Are you doing that already, or is this something you want to do? as you grow older?
I have started because I have purchased plots of land where I will build it. It's one step at a time. I purchased the plot of land. It's now in the starting now to build, because without the properties where you can build, there's no house. Yeah. And I can't do it in a rented house. If you are gone, they may not have enough money to pay. So I bought the land, and then I want to start building.
I hear that some friends in the industry, some friends outside the industry, they want to celebrate you because they say this year is your 45 years of being in this industry, being such a force in the industry. When you look back, do you think you should be celebrated?
I didn't need that. I didn't want it. But they insisted. They said, I'm not even in the organizing of the event. They said I should leave it for them, just present myself on that day.
So what do they want to do? What exactly are they looking at?
They said they want people to appreciate me. That's what they told me. I said, appreciate me for what? I said, I don't want the one that will make me lose my reward in heaven. They said no, that they just want people to know that you can actually be in this industry for as long as you want and still be useful to the public, and then help me to get the things that will build that place that is my dream, where these people will be housed.
Widows, young people,
physically challenged people, and all that. Just a community for them.
What would be your last word for young people that are coming into your industry? Because you already complained, they don't listen. What message are you sending out to them? And for those that want to also come into the film industry?
I want to tell them that this industry can take you to wine and dine with presidents of nations, princes and princesses. And you can only achieve it by humbling yourself, listening, and learning the ethics of the profession. The profession is not just for you to appear on. And then the fear of God in you can guard you, because this industry will bring you into limelight where you meet with people, both those who can violate your belief and all that, but the ability to stand firm on that which you already know, that which is carrying you, propelling you, that's the word of God, is what will make you stay within limits. You will not go. It's not a place where you come out and become free like a bird, fly anyhow you want. No, it's a place where you can humble yourself and come down, and it will take you to places. I want them to listen, fear God and reverence Him, and then help to contain themselves within some limits.
Patience, Ozokwor. Mama G.
G for general.
G for general. I want to thank you. It's always been a pleasure talking with you. This is not the first time, but each time I talk to you, it's like there's so much I've not learned. I mean, there are so many new things we've talked about today. And as you celebrate your 45 years in the industry, I want to congratulate you. I want to wish you the best.
Thank you.
And in another 10 years, who are we going to see?
Patience Ozokwor.
The same one and only, Mama G.
G
for general. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. My old friend and colleague.
Yes. Thank you for watching. I've been Tinubu Ilo. If you stay with us, stay on this channel. We'll bring more exclusive interviews like this. Thank you.